Hello everyone and welcome to our video on how to complete your end of year report for 2022. The first thing you will need to do is access your online WWGS Global Schools school account. If you're not sure how to access this, make sure you watch our instructional video that will take you through step by step on how to access your online account. Once you're in your online account, you will be presented with a page that looks like this. You will see along the top there's a variety of different tabs that relate to different aspects of the WWGS programme. For the purpose of this video, we are looking at how to complete your end of year report. Therefore, you will need to click on WWGS Global Schools Application Reports. Once you click on this, you will be presented with a page that looks like this. The first thing you should do if you're not seeing your application reports or your end of year reports is click Go. Here you will see any reports that need to be completed. They will currently be in draft until you complete and submit your report to WWGS Global Schools. The first thing you will need to do is click on AR, so the application report reference number. You will be completing an end of year project report for the year 2021 to 2022. i.e. this academic year. Therefore, you are reporting on all of the work that you've carried out that has been supported by WWGS Global Schools since September 2021. The first thing you should do when you access your end of year project report is to click Edit. You will then be presented with this editable form, which is your end of year project report. A top tip is to continue to press save as you go along so you don't lose any of your work. The first section you will see is some information regarding your grant application. This will already be filled out for you. It contains information such as your school name, roll number, the application number, and the academic year. Please check that this information is correct. If this information is incorrect, please contact us on the details provided. I will now talk you through each of the sections for your end of year report. Section 1 is all about expenditure. Here we want to know, how did you spend your WWGS Global Schools grant? What you will do is you will look through each of the key areas or stamps, all of the different activities, and you will report the amount that you spent in each of these sections. You will also then provide details in these fields as to how exactly you spent the grant. So here we want to know the amount that you spent, and here we want you to provide details on how your school spent the WWGS Global Schools grant funding. Please make sure that you type in rounded numbers only, without the euro symbol and without decimal points. It will automatically calculate the total amount that you spent for your school grant for 2021-2022. Here you will see a budget summary. This is how much funding was actually provided to your school. Once you've filled out your budget and told us how much you spent, the figure will come up here. Should you have any money that was unspent, you will be presented with the figure here. There are some questions regarding your budget that you will then need to complete. For example, 1.1 asks, is it correct that the unspent amount that is featuring here, is that correct? So please tick yes. Please provide details as to why you did not spend your grant in full, should this apply to you. And the last question, 1.2, is please tick to confirm that you've retained receipts. WWGS may request receipts, so please hold on to those. However, you do not need to submit them with your end of year report. This brings us on to section 2, which is where we want to hear all about the key learning and some reflection on your project work to date. Question 2.1 is a little summary on the activities that you completed. So please describe the activities that you undertook throughout the project. Question 2.2 asks you to provide information on the participants that engaged in the project. So we want to know how many teachers and how many students were involved. Question 2.3 asks you to indicate that you've completed the online WWGS Global Schools self-assessment tool. If you need any further support or information on the WWGS Global Schools self-assessment tool, please contact your education officers or see the self-assessment tool page on our website. Question 2.4, we want to know a little bit more about your key learnings. So what were the key learnings that happened in your school from engaging in global citizenship education? This may be related to the impact of your project. For example, has there been a change in attitude, opinions, or actions that took place as a result of engaging in the project work this year? What worked well in your school, and what would you do differently? This brings us on to section 3, which was all about the support that was provided by the WWGS Global Schools team. The first question, 3.1, is where you tick if you attended any of our trainings or events this year. Question 3.1.1 is where you detail which events you actually attended. Again, what you do is you can drag and drop, so you can click whichever events you actually attended, and you can click the arrow to add, or indeed if you need to remove any of these events. So please click all of the events that you attended for 2021 to 2022. 3.1.2 asks you to indicate if you applied learning from having participated in WWGS training, support, or utilising any of our resources. Then we would like to know how. So if you applied any learning, please explain how. Question 3.2 asks you if you used our Global Passport Guide, and if so, how? 3.3 asks, did you utilise WWGS Global Schools support? And 3.3.1 asks you to indicate which supports. So for example, you might have received email support, you might have attended a whole staff training that was carried out by WWGS Global Schools. WWGS Global Schools might have inputted at one of your events, or you might have attended an online support meeting with us this year. Please indicate which ones and drag them into your chosen supports box. If there's any other supports that you utilised or engaged with, please detail those here. Question 3.4 is where we would like you to indicate which of the WWGS Global Schools resources you utilised this year. So for example, you might have accessed or utilised our how-to guide, our teacher handbook, our digital media resource, our junior cycle history guide, our junior cycle modern foreign languages guide. So please indicate which of the guides you utilised in your school. We know that you as the lead teacher may not have used all of these, so please do consult with your wider staff to make sure that this report is a true reflection of what happened across all of your school. You might have also used some of our Irish language resources, for example, our science resource or Oleacht. Section 4, please only complete this section if it's applicable to you. This is about global school partnerships. And the questions here are around schools who have links with schools in the Global South, i.e. a global school partnership. So please indicate if you did any joint learning projects with your school or your partner school in the Global South. If so, please provide a brief description of what those joint learning projects look like. Do you have a partnership agreement in place with your partner school for the current year? If so, please upload this, and please indicate what country your partnership school or your partner school is in. Again, this section 4, only applies to those schools who have been supported by WWGS Global Schools in terms of your global school partnership. Section 5 is around school leadership and management. Here we want to know a little bit more about how the school leaders and management in your school engaged with the programme and GCE this year. Please tick for 5.1 if school management engaged with the programme. If so, how? So please click, for example, if your principal attended an online meeting with WWGS Global Schools, you can choose that. And if your principal attended the WWGS Global Schools Symposium that happened in November, you can also choose that. If there's any other ways that school leadership and management in your school engaged this year, please provide details in the other box here. Section 6 of your end of year report is around sustainability. 6.1 asks about financial support. Please indicate if your school would be able to continue engaging with global citizenship education without support. So for example, without the training, the support visits or the resources that WWGS Global Schools provides. So please tick the box below. If not, therefore, if your school would not be able to continue engaging with GCE without WWGS Global Schools support, please describe why not. Section 7 is around communications. Here we would like to know if you referenced WWGS Global Schools on your website and or social media. If so, please provide links. We would also like to know in 7.2 if you reference WWGS Global Schools in your school materials. So for example, any print or online materials that you might have developed. Again, please provide details. Also, we'd love for you to upload any electronic copies so that we can see the work that you've carried out. So for example, if there's a newsletter or any published materials, please provide them in the Google Docs notes and attachments section at the bottom of this page. And this brings us to the final section of our end of year report. which is our conclusion. The first question, we would like you to rate the effectiveness of the WWGS Global Schools programme, so please use the drop-down menu to complete this. Feedback and reflection is really important for WWGS. We really rely on this to continue to improve and to grow the programme. Therefore, please outline any suggestions you have to improve the programme into the future, and we would love to take those on board. To conclude your report, 8.3 asks you to complete your name or to put your name in to show who completed this report and provide your email and phone number. And the last thing you must do, and you must only do this when you're actually ready to submit your report, is to click on this button here and press save. This will then mean that your end of year report will be submitted to your online portal and the WWGS Global Schools team. Thank you very much for all of your work this year and for the work that you've put into completing your end of year report.